During the course of this scandal, he had always said before making a decision, Anthony Weiner, that is, that he wanted to talk with his wife, who was overseas with Secretary of State Clinton, before making a decision. Do we think that probably weighed into the decision here?
I'm sure it did. She returned yesterday morning, landing at Andrews Air Force Base. Then she went to their home in Washington, D.C. We don't know whether she then took another flight to join him wherever he is at this undisclosed treatment facility, or if they just spoke by phone. But in addition to whatever she was saying, the pressure really became intense on him this week, with Democratic leaders calling on him to resign, the president saying that he should resign, and just the sheer weight of all the new photos and texts that were coming out, leading Democratic leaders to say that it was just too much for him to be able to continue to do his job effectively. And then just yesterday, another bombshell, a former porn star coming out to say that he had tried to engage her in sexual conversations.
I did not sext Anthony Weiner. I did not send photos to him or receive any from him.
The former adult film actress, who now works as a stripper, says Weiner contacted her online after she praised him on her blog. In about 100 messages back and forth, the two mostly discussed politics. But from time to time, she said, the congressman tried to get personal.
Anytime that he would take our communications in a sexual direction, I did not reciprocate.
Her lawyer, Gloria Allred, read some of the suggestive emails aloud.
All right, my package and I are not going to beg. You aren't giving my package due credit. I have wardrobe demands, too. I need to highlight my package.
Lee attracted attention after the scandal broke because she was one of only about 200 people the New York congressman followed on Twitter. She turned to him for advice.
He asked me to lie about our communication. I put out a 3-sentence communication that he told me to say.
Lee says she now has a very different view of the politician she once admired.
I think that Anthony Weiner should resign because he lied to the public and to the press for more than a week.
This was a prank, a hoax.
It might have never turned into this if he'd told the truth, but he kept lying.
She said she'd cooperate with an ethics investigation.
Now she needs to return to work and resume her career as a feature dancer, which is how she was supporting herself before she became entangled in this Twitter sex scandal.
Ginger Lee says she didn't sell her story like several other women because she didn't want to be the one to throw someone who she used to admire under the bus. Chris?
Nancy, once again, just to repeat for the folks at home, we can confirm that Congressman Weiner will announce his resignation at a press conference in the New York City area later on today. What can we expect to be next for the congressman after what has been a very embarrassing few weeks here?
Gosh, that's a great question, Chris, because for a lot of politicians in this type of position, we've seen in the past they've sort of gone underground and stayed away from public life. But Congressman Weiner has always been someone who had very high ambitions. He wanted to be the mayor of New York. He was very public about that. And many of his constituents still support him. A majority of constituents in recent polls said that he should stay in office. So it's possible that he might leave public life for a while and then try to re-enter it. We just don't know. And I think we will learn more about what his next moves will be at that press conference this afternoon, Chris.
I think when this scandal first broke, a lot of people probably sat back and said it's not going to get much worse than this. But as we've seen this unfold, it has gotten worse with every development that has surfaced. Do we think that there's potentially more damaging material out there that may surface here in the next few days?
It's always possible. He always said that he only communicated with about 6 women in this fashion, and we've now heard from, I think, roughly that number. So certainly if that number escalated, that would be a new development.
All right, Nancy Cordes for us in Washington this morning on this breaking news. Nancy, thank you.